Welcome back to 55 Degrees North and to episode 38 of your fortnightly Newcastle upon Tyne construction and restoration update. In today's video, we're checking in on all the big developments around the city, from Pottery Lane to Pilgrim Place, plus many more. And before we dive in, I just want to say a massive thank you. The channel has just hit over 4,000 subscribers. Your support means the world and keeps these updates coming every 2 weeks. Alright, let's get straight into this week's tour of Newcastle's ever-changing skyline. So starting as usual, at the site of the former General Hospital, soon to become the brand new Health and Innovation neighbourhood, and a lot's changed since our last visit, so let's take a look at how things are shaping up. Starting over at the back of the site, you can see just how much progress has been made. Most of the area has now been completely levelled off, all ready for the next big step, the construction phase. There are still a few remaining blocks standing, waiting for demolition. They started work on these in our last update 2 weeks ago. Turning around to what used to be the main hospital block, most of the piles of material from the demolition are now almost gone. You can see an excavator hard at work feeding the crusher, which is chewing through the last of the rubble. Over the other side, another excavator is busy sorting and levelling the remaining piles of crushed material, making sure everything's even and ready for the new foundations to go in. It's incredible to see how quickly this site is transforming. Soon this area will start its next chapter, evolving from an old hospital into a vibrant new community for health, science and innovation. Now moving down to Castle Leazes. It's been a few weeks since my last visit to the site of the new Students' Village, and today I'm here to check to see if the construction has finally started, so let's take a look around. Now, as you can see, not much has changed. The area still looks exactly the same as it did a few weeks ago. No equipment, no groundwork, no construction noise. Nothing yet to show that building has started. I'll be checking back in a few weeks to see if anything finally kicks off. Hopefully next time we'll see some signs of life here. We are now moving down to Leazes Park Road, where Unite students are building their brand new student accommodation. It's been just 2 weeks since our last visit, but trust me, there's been a lot of visible progress. Starting right here at the front of the site, you can really see things taking shape. The window frames are now stretching all the way up to the top of the building, giving us a much clearer idea of the final height and look. Now moving round to the back of the site, you'll notice most of the windows are now installed. Just the upper floors of the middle section are left to go. You can also spot packs of insulation stacked neatly on the scaffolding, all set and waiting to be fitted. It's a good sign that the next phase of the work, especially the internal fit out, isn't far behind. Down at the bottom, by the old Georgian building, there's more great progress. The side of the building now has all its windows fitted, and around the front, the first set of upper floor windows have appeared. It's really nice to see this part of the site catching up with the rest. Swinging back round to the Leazes Park roadside, you can see most of the window frames are now fitted here too, with only the top floor still waiting to be done. Overall, the whole development is starting to look much more cohesive. You can really picture what the finished accommodation will look like now. So quite a bit of progress in just 2 weeks. Things are definitely moving fast at Leazes Park Road. So now moving down to Pottery Lane, where Olympian Homes are building 2 brand new apartment blocks. There's been a lot of visible progress since our last visit, so let's head up onto the Redger Bridge for a proper look across the whole site. From up here, you can really see how much the site has changed. Down towards the back, closest to the river, most of the brickwork and windows are now complete. It's really starting to take shape. Moving further along the bridge gives us a better view of both buildings, what I am calling Building 1 and Building 2. The brickwork on both blocks looks nearly finished, giving the site a much more complete feel compared to just a few weeks ago. Now let's head down onto Pottery Lane and take a closer look. You'll notice temporary scaffolding staircases have now been installed in several areas, a clear sign that interior work is likely ramping up behind the scenes. Looking at building 1, a lot more brickwork has been completed, and you can see that tarmac has been laid right across the front of the block. That's going to make things much easier for the crews on site. No more trudging through the mud. At building 2, it's a similar story. Brickwork right up the front of the building looks almost finished, and again the tarmac stretches right across the front. Down at the bottom corner, new glass panels have been fitted, adding a sleek touch to the exterior. So we're now checking in on the latest progress at the Pilgrim Place development, where 2 brand new office blocks are taking shape, including one that's soon to be occupied by the Department of Work and Pensions. There's been some serious progress since our last visit, so let's head down and take a closer look. Moving down to the lower end of the site, you can really see the transformation. The steel framework is climbing steadily upwards. Each visit, another level seems to appear. It's exciting to see the structure starting to take its full form. Down at the very bottom, a deep trench has been dug out, likely for drainage. You can see the whole collection of drainage components still lying on the ground, all waiting to be installed. It's clear the groundwork is still a major focus here. A little further up, a large concrete pad has been poured, and I guess that's the base for another lift, similar to the one already in place towards the top of the site. Looking up Warsack Street, you can see the steelwork rising higher and higher. The top end of the site is really starting to dominate the skyline now. The framework has come along beautifully, giving us a real sense of the final building shape. Round the back, it's the same story. Steady upward progress. You can spot a few steel girders lying on the ground, waiting their turn to be lifted and locked into place. Every beam that goes up brings this development one step closer to completion. So that's the latest from Pilgrim Place. The pace of construction is impressive, steelwork climbing skyward, groundwork taking shape, and the whole site buzzing with progress. I'll be keeping an eye on it as this project continues to rise. Now, moving on to the biggest building project going on in the city right now, the brand new office block for His Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Every week, this place is looking more and more complete, so let's take a closer look and see what's changed. Starting off on the new Bridge Street side, it looks like things are just about wrapped up around here. Pretty much no construction equipment left on this side of the building. It's looking sleek, modern, and just about ready to go. Now, swing around onto Pilgrim Street, and it's a bit of a different story. Still quite a bit of construction equipment lying about, and the business premises are still waiting to be fitted out. We've got a Tesco, a Cafe Nero and a bank lined up to open here soon. And I've heard on the grapevine that one of the units has been taken up by Greg's. Over on the Market Street side, it's nearly there too. Just a few bits of equipment still hanging around, but it's looking clean and ready to open up. And finally, my favourite side of the building, John Dobson Street. Just look at this. The walls have had a huge glow up with this stunning artwork featuring inscriptions about the River Tyne and even the words to the Bladen races. It really sets this side of the building off perfectly. A brilliant way to celebrate a bit of local history and the pride right in the heart of the city. So that's the latest look at the new HMRC development. It's getting closer and closer to completion every week. What do you think of the new design? And how many Gregs do you reckon we've got in the city centre now? Drop your guesses in the comments below. So we're now checking on the progress of the brand new North East Space Skills and Technology Centre being built right here on Ellison Place for Northumberland University. At first glance, the front might not look too different, but trust me, once we get a little closer, there's a lot of exciting progress happening on site. Down at the bottom of the site, you can really start to see the transformation. A lot more glass panels have now been fitted, along with plenty of new cladding going up. You can even spot stacks of prefabricated panels sitting on pallets, all ready to be lifted into place soon. Swinging around to the other side, it's a similar story here. more glass fitted, more cladding taking shape, and yep, even more pallets of panels waiting for installation. You can really start to get the feel of how sleek and modern the finished building's going to look. Over at the main entrance, things are moving along nicely. Most of the glasswork around the doors is now complete, and a few shiny new glass panels have also been added to the floor above. The reflections are really starting to give the futuristic feel. And finally, right round at the far side of the site, there's been a big jump since our last visit. 2 weeks ago, only one section of glass had been completed, but now a lot more of the facade has been finished. The pace really seems to be picking up. So that's where things stand at the North East Space Skills and Technology Centre. And now for a roundup of some of the other projects going on in the city right now. Starting off on Northumberland Street, and there's been a lot of progress since our last visit, just 2 weeks ago. Down at the bottom end, you can really see how much of the area is now complete. The centre section is looking great, and more of the new seating has been installed. It's good timing too, especially with the Pennock Christmas window being revealed on November the 2nd. Always a big moment for the city. Next up, over at the Granger Market, and yep, work is still ongoing. Unfortunately, the project has been delayed yet again, and we're now looking at sometime in 2026 before it's fully complete. So it looks like we'll be waiting a while longer to see this one finished. Now, onto the Pilgrim Street cycle lane. The long-running saga might be finally wrapping up. The top section of the street looks just about complete now, so it seems like the project could be reaching the finish line at last. And across the road, the stack is getting closer and closer to opening. New signage has gone up along Pilgrim Street side of the building, as well as down Warsick Street, really giving it that finished look. It is still on track to open sometime in November, so not long to wait now. A little further up, the Gotham Hotel has some updates too. New signage and even a flag outside now. They're also working on the fire station sign that went up a few weeks ago. The hotel is due to open November after being delayed from October, so fingers crossed there are no more setbacks. So that's a quick roundup of what's happening around the city right now. From Northumberland Street's fresh look to the Stack and the Gotham Hotel, both gearing up for November openings. So just before I wrap this week's video up, I'd love to hear what you think. So drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on all the construction going on around the city right now. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my future updates. A massive thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on 55 Degrees North.